Recording in progress.
Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. We don't need any equipment this evening, so we are just going to get right into it. We're only doing sort of like one juicy side bend today, but we're focusing mostly on flexion and extension and a bit of rotation. So hopefully this makes you feel nice and stretched out after a full day of shrimping. Now, as always with core class, we don't count any reps, it's just you leaning into those movements, speeding them up or slowing them down as feels best. So we're going to start off by just taking arms straight overhead, and as always we're just trying to like lift up that rib cage and point it slightly towards the ceiling if that feels good for you. Stretching out the front of the abs and taking nice deep breaths as you go. And then if it feels good, just holding that for a count of 1, 2. So we're getting a bit of extension in the lower back. Lovely, one more. And now we're going to go to our flexion. So we are going to do catch the chicken, throw the chicken. So for those of you who haven't done it before, it was just a silly cue that I thought of because we take a step forward with alternating legs, and as we step forward, we just sort of like waft our hands like that towards the ground. And I said it was a bit like trying to catch a chicken. As somebody who has owned chickens, it is a little bit like that. You sort of miss them as they run off. So we're taking a step forward and we're just collecting our chicken each time we bend forward. And again, arms can be sort of fast and swipey, or you can do them a little bit more swoopy and slow. So again, you get to pick your own pace. And that might look like this, it might be this high, just depending on how you're feeling. Or you might be going for those super small chickens on the ground, like so. Couple more. And last one. Okay, so now we're going to take those arms that went up and we're going to put them into a side step. So if you'd like to make it more lower body intensive, we're going to take a step out, and if you want to get more lower body, you're just going to lean into that leg a little bit more. But if you don't, we're just going to do a step. Okay, so they're your options for lower body. Arms are just going to go up, and then we're going to bring them down as we step in, all on one side to begin with. So I'm just stepping my right leg out. And if it feels good to do so, we're going to add in a rotation, and we're going to rotate towards the leg that has stayed behind. So this is what it looks like. We step out and then we're just going to rotate torso that way over that left leg with arms still in the air. And again, you might just rotate a little bit, or if you've got quite a bendy spine, which I don't think I have at all, you might get a lot further round than me, but just do what feels good for you. 2 more of those, and then we're going to swap sides. And we're going to go straight in with those rotations on the other side of the body. So stepping out of the leg rotating the opposite way. Nice deep breaths in and out as we go, please. Don't hold that in. You may notice different feelings depending on what side of the body is doing what. So like I'm aware that my inner thigh on this side feels a lot tighter than the other leg, which is pretty normal, but just noticing things about your body as you move. Lovely, one more. Perfect. Relax those arms, have a little sip of whatever beverage you have. So we're going to change up catch the chicken. As somebody in the group earlier said, chicken the chicken, and I was like, well, I've now just invented a new exercise. So this is what chicken the chicken looks like. We catch the chicken, but we do it twice. So we step forward, catch, and then we take a little bounce and do it again. And that gives us the chance to take advantage of ground force reaction. So the foot comes up, it has to land again, everything has to decelerate. All the muscles in your core have got to slow down your arms against that force of gravity. So that is chicken the chicken. Of course, it's optional, so you can stick with solo chicken catching, or you can do chicken the chicken, which is officially the name of this movement with a little bounce of the front foot. And again, still alternating sides as we go. You may feel glute as well as you do that. But you catch the chicken and you give it a little bounce. One more of those. My lower body is so sore from this week after, well, it was supposed to be upper body dumbbells on Monday, which turned into like full body cardio. And then there was the step class on Tuesday. I'm feeling it, definitely feeling it all week. Okay, so back to our little step. I'm going to have to shed the fluff. This I've had the heater on, it's getting a bit sweaty in here. We're going to step out again and rotate. This time, option to add. So again, don't have to add the next bit. Just doing the rotations is going to be plenty. But for those of you who just want to always be getting the feels and do like a juicy side bend, stepping out, arms up, rotate, and then you're just going to have a little lean back like that. You can come into the middle however you want, so you don't have to mechanically reverse it all. You can just sweep back in however feels good. But we're just getting the core to do all of its things at the same time. But it will feel a bit odd because because we've already sort of extended and rotated, adding in that lateral flexion is just going to be like, oh, but go with it. Rotate and have a little lean back. So we're getting length down here, and this side is sort of crunching down. We did this in a dumbbells class once, something similar. And it was one of those classes where I was like, oh, we'll just take it easy, and then it was like, ugh. Again, don't hold that breath in. Let's have two more on this side. Leaning into any areas that just feel like they're getting a good stretch. Awesome. Other other side. Just rest those shoulders for a second. Shoulders do tend to get an absolute beating throughout the week with all the things that we do to them. Again, we're arms up, rotating, and then just having a little lean back. Doesn't have to be a huge movement. And again, I'm just noticing in my own body that one side always feels slightly tighter than the other, but it's not a problem. I'm just going to be aware of it and then sort of modify my movements accordingly. Lovely, one more. That is that side bend that just makes me do that like Popeye face where I'm like, ugh, all the time. Okay, back to chicken the chicken, or just the chicken, if that's what you've been doing. We're now going to throw the chicken. So we're going to chicken the chicken, and then foot goes back, and you throw it overhead, like so. But it's up to you. You can either do one chicken catch or the chicken squared at the bottom with the little bounce, and then foot goes back, get your balance, throw it overhead, doesn't have to be quick, and then you're just going to stay there for a couple of seconds just while all of that stretches out. And again, taking that leg back, we land, core has to slow us down, and then it makes all of those muscles just work beautifully for us. So we're going chicken the chicken and throw it overhead. Sticking all on one leg just while we do our throwing. Let's have one more on this leg. Lovely stuff. Other side. Chicken the chicken, throw it overhead. So we're going from lovely extension, lovely flexion into that extension of the spine. Things that it loves to do for us. We will have one more. Lovely stuff, and relax. We're going to finish with modified child's pose. So I'm going to grab my chair, but you can do it on a wall. Kitchen worktop's probably a nice height to do it on actually. Table, back of the chair. Just make sure that it's not going to go anywhere, but we're not really leaning on it. So hands on the chair, and then you're just going to walk your feet back until that head can drop down. And you're just going to push your head between your shoulders. And we're going to get into the lower back. So what you're going to do for me now is just turn your feet ever so slightly towards me. Bring them back to the centre, and then you're going to turn them away from me. And then bring them back to central. Nice deep breath that fills the rib cage. Let it all out. If you fancy letting a few swear words slip out, do it now. And then very slowly walk yourself back up. Full standing, we'll take them behind the back as well. Nice deep breath. And we are done, just like that. A magical 15 minutes of core. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a lovely rest of your evening. Awesome. And I'll speak to you all soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.